The Wolf Warrior remarks by Chinese diplomats have once again made fools of themselves internationally. Recently, the Chinese Consul General in Belfast tweeted a list of U.S. invasion history, including the U.S. helping China defeat Japan in World War II and the War of Independence. In addition, a Chinese diplomat tweeted a photo labeling it as Lanyu in Taiwan Province, when in fact it's Sanxiantai in Taitung County. A spokesman for the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs made an absurd claim on Twitter, saying, "Taiwan is part of China because the sense of taste is not deceiving." Chinese Consul General, the history of U.S. aggression is clear. On August 23rd, the Chinese Consul General in Belfast tweeted that the history of U.S. aggression is clear to see. The tweet was accompanied by a list titled History of U.S. Aggression, itemizing wars that the U.S. was involved in from the 18th century to the early 21st century. These include the War of Independence in 1775, when the U.S. broke away from British colonization, the Civil War in 1861, when slavery was abolished, and World War II in 1941. Neither the War of Independence nor the Civil War was a war of aggression. In World War II, when Japan invaded China, the U.S. government provided loans and military aid to the government of the Republic of China. In 1945, the U.S. dropped the atomic bomb on Japan, and the Japanese unconditionally surrendered, thus ending the war against China. The U.S. aid to China was turned into an aggressor by CCP diplomats, prompting Chinese and foreign netizens to comment. These ambassadors really have nothing else to do. They take people's tax money and humiliate themselves. A Chinese scholar said the tweet by the Chinese Consul General reflected the ignorance of Chinese diplomats. Such simple facts like the War of Independence and the Civil War are recognized even in their own textbooks by the CCP. I guess once she saw people's comments, she must feel embarrassed for making such a cheap mistake. Of course, I know she has anti-American sentiments and a desire to make a name for herself, so she listed all the wars in American history and concluded that the U.S. didn't care for peace. But she doesn't seem to have any basic knowledge of history here. Chinese Foreign Ministry Information Office Director, this is Lanyu, Taiwan Province. On August 21st, China's Director General of the Information Office of the Foreign Ministry posted on Twitter a good morning picture of scenery accompanied by a message saying, "Good morning, my friends. This is beautiful China, Lanyu, Taiwan Province of China." As soon as the tweet came out, a reporter from Taiwan immediately took a screenshot of it and tweeted, "This is not Lanyu at all, but Sanxiantai in Taitung. These people claim that Taiwan is their property, but they know nothing about Taiwan." Even netizens in China also tweeted, "If you want to make a wild claim, post the right photo. And don't be a laughingstock." Many non-Chinese also jumped on the bandwagon. Even I know this isn't Lanyu. At least do some research before claiming anything that doesn't belong to you. And these idiots are hopeless. Taiwanese netizens commented, "Such ignorance about Taiwan proves that Taiwan has nothing to do with the Chinese Communist Party. Poor morons who can't even tell where Lanyu is. And no one who really knows Taiwan would say such things." Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesman, "Taiwan is part of China because the taste doesn't deceive people." On the evening of August 7th, Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson Hua Chuanying tweeted, "Baidu map shows that there are 38 Shandong dumpling restaurants and 67 Shanxi noodle restaurants in Taipei. Taste is not deceiving. Taiwan has always been part of China, and the long-lost child will finally come home." The tweet immediately drew ridicule from people at home and abroad. The former spokesman for the U.S. Department of State, Morgan Ortagus, tweeted sarcastically, "There are over 8,500 KFC restaurants in China. Palates don't cheat. China has always been part of Kentucky. The long-lost child will eventually return home." Many netizens also commented on Morgan Ortagus' tweet. The order for all KFCs in China to change their name immediately just came down from Beijing. Can't wait for China to come back to Kentucky. That's right, China belongs to Kentucky. The Chinese government's logic is perfect. More sarcastic comments from Chinese netizens include, "A lot of people around the world got the virus from Wuhan. Should we say that the whole world is part of China? Chinese restaurants are everywhere in the world. Does it mean our party should be in charge of the planet? A US-based commenter said that Hua Chuanying didn't dare to mention other important subjects and could only resort to topics like food. But even with food, there is a lot of chaos under the Communist Party's rule.
Because the CCP's brutal dictatorship is not acceptable to the Taiwanese people. Now Hua Chuanying brings about food as a topic because she's at her wit's end. In reality, the best place to have preserved Chinese culture is in Taiwan. We can say the same about food in mainland China. How much wasted oil is used to make food in China? How many counterfeit and shoddy things are there? And now, because of your brutal zero-COVID policy, do ordinary people even have the freedom to eat? Ordinary people went to a barbecue restaurant and they were beaten, gang-raped, tortured, then disappeared. And you still have the nerve to mention food?
Hua Chuanying's international joke is not only that. As early as March 25, 2021, at a press conference in front of the international media, she held up a photo of a black slave claiming to be hand-picking cotton in the US. She compared it to a photo of automated picking in a cotton field in Xinjiang, accusing the US of being the culprit of forced labor and that there was truth in pictures. But this claim was immediately refuted by the US media. According to Newsweek, the photo in her hand was actually of inmates working on a Texas prison farm in the 1960s, taken by renowned photographer Danny Lyon to expose the injustices and inhuman conditions of mass incarceration in the US correctional system, as well as racial discrimination. Netizens mocked, "Fake photos and fake messages are officially certified and used by the Chinese Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Black slaves were in the past tense, but Xinjiang slaves are in the present tense. And, no matter what, China cannot be whitewashed."